Hello. This is at least the 7th take of this video. But I hate cuts. I know you don't like them either. It's not natural. And yet the previous takes were fine. With the two things I'm going to tell you in this video, you will be taken by the skeptics. For a fool, happy. But you, instantly, even if I don't promise happiness, but we agree that on a rainy day, a cloudy day, it's hard to be positive, confident, focused, productive, disciplined. And yet it's possible. You just have to think of the little grandpa, the little grandma that you regularly meet, that you have met, who takes their little morning walk. I'm not going to tell you, the key is not the little morning walk, but he takes his little morning walk. She takes her little morning walk. And they are full of energy. And so how to be more positive? Without taking medication, a day. It also works on sunny days, but it works especially. And the contrast is immense. It's magnificent. On days when the weather is bad. Well, what the little grandmas and grandpas already do is expose themselves to natural light. Right from the morning, but I'm going to get into something very specific, the two keys. First key, sky gazing. I made an instruction video on it, unlisted. I've always been impressed by the ingenuity of the Egyptians when they built the pyramids. You see, the Egyptians looked at the sky a lot. And notably, even though I'm not telling you to burn your retina with the sun, the Egyptians looked at the sun. And so don't just take my word for it, but apparently they had a pineal gland that was really large. A pineal gland that secretes melatonin and is the center of the soul, according to Descartes. And maybe because they looked at the sun. So here, I'm not telling you to look at the sun, I'm telling you to look at the sky, sky gazing. The instructions are in an unlisted video, so on YouTube, only for the tip of the day. But I will still give 2 or 3 little tips for sky gazing, because a real guide is needed. Well, it's quite simple, but I don't want you to look at the sky with your glasses. I don't want you to look at the sky with your sunglasses. Even worse, I don't want you to look at the sky with your contact lenses. I don't even want you to look at the sky through a window. I don't want you to look at the sky with your head like this or your head on your screen. Well, here I am, in front of a screen, but I have to talk to you. No, we want to maximize the thing. Now, I'm not saying the Egyptians did exactly this, but the Egyptians clearly didn't have our lifestyle, which is largely indoors today. And so the solution I propose to you is 180-degree sky gazing. What does that mean? It means you take your precautions. You take a small towel, you take whatever you want, but you lie down somewhere. A clean bench, a place where you feel good, where there's not too much noise, where you might be seen as a fool, a happy fool, who cares? And you look at the sky. The goal, frankly, I'll tell you the ideal, because I'm telling you first what works, is to look at it 30 minutes, 40 minutes. During that time, you can do hand exercises to have beautiful hands. You can listen to a podcast, but you don't listen to music, okay? That's the only thing that's forbidden. Because the music you shouldn't start a day like that. It will increase your dopamine, it will cause a spike, and then afterwards you drop and everything. No, we want you to be positive and even focused, because during that time, during this sort of meditation, you will be able to see the sky. And what does looking at the sky do? You have the ultraviolet rays, even despite the clouds, that will reach your eyes. Your eyes, your retina, which is already part of the nervous system, and their nervous system neurotransmitter, dopamine, serotonin. Dopamine, it comes from tyrosine. Serotonin, on the other hand, comes from tryptophan. Tyrosine, for dopamine, is transformed into dopamine, thanks to ultraviolet rays. Tyrosine absorbs ultraviolet rays. Also, tyrosine is transformed into melanin, thanks to ultraviolet rays, due to the action of tyrosinase, which operates with UVB. Tryptophan, which is transformed into serotonin, because it is also an amino acid that absorbs ultraviolet rays. It's not the only factor, but it's a major factor. Anyway, you know that during the summer, you feel better, you're more positive and everything than during the winter. Well, with this key, already, you will be much more positive during the winter. Serotonin, which then transforms into melatonin, which when secreted naturally and properly regulated, damn, life is beautiful. So, sky gazing 30 minutes, 180 degrees. If you don't have the time, I understand. Look at the sky without glasses, without anything. Second thing, the smile. Now, some might say, oh, that's too cliche and all. Those are the skeptics. Because if you have a smile, it's also, I think, about science, about light. Maybe you've seen my video, you have the fire within you. You literally have the fire within you, in your mitochondria, in the respiratory chain of your mitochondria. Our mitochondria produce infrared heat when they are exposed to cold as well. Okay, I'm digressing here. The smile. It's literally a light that you have in your eyes, that you have in your face, that is felt. And that's why, in fact, I'm making this video specifically for a rainy day, even though it also works on a sunny day. But because the social contrast is magnificent afterward, because you transmit your light to people, they feel it directly. You take a little walk after your sky gazing, for example, and you have a smile. You become more positive instantly. I recommend at least 5 minutes. In fact, I advise you that when you walk, you should already be smiling. Sorry, I'm a bit in command mode, but smile when you walk. For the shy ones, I have the technique. You don't have to look people in the eyes when you walk while smiling. You can look at the sky precisely. Take care of your biological clock, your circadian rhythm by doing this. But for the slightly less shy people, and even this can be worked on, I still advise you to look at people, because you convey this light that you have. You shine from within. And these two things, I promise you they work. Because I used to be a somewhat gray personality. And I'm not saying it's a given, precisely. That's why I do it every day. Sky gazing in one way or another. Clearly, when there are clouds, I love doing it. When there's a light rain, I love doing it. If it's raining really too hard, I will take a slightly longer walk without putting my eyes in the raindrops. And then, well, I will end with Princess Leia. Hope is like the sun in many ways. If you only believe in it when you see it, you'll never make it through the night.